Not Hollywood, not K-drama, yet 191 countries and territories exploded. What did MileApo unleash? Two men, one story, one love that shook the world. This is not just a drama, it's history, written before our eyes. Stay with us because the secret behind MileApo's rise will surprise you. And don't forget to subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. What could make the whole world stop, look back and fall in love with two Thai boys? What power could make a single TV series, a single couple, shake up not only a local industry, but also a world of audiences? That is the story of MileApo. But to understand why their names resonate across continents today, we have to start from the moment when no one knew they would meet. Before 2022, Thai entertainment was thriving with color, music, and drama. Hit movies dominated the screen. Actors became household names. However, one genre remained quietly in the shadows: boys' love. Beloved by loyal fans, but overlooked by the mainstream for being too small, too narrow. A world full of promise, waiting for someone to prove it worthy of standing on the biggest stage. The two men, at the time, were not household names, not global icons, just individuals walking separate paths. Apo, with his piercing gaze and natural charm, had been in the spotlight. He had tasted recognition. And then, almost without warning, he walked away. He disappeared from the stage that once held him. Many thought it was forever, that his story in the entertainment industry was over. Imagine carrying that burden, knowing what it felt like to shine, then choosing silence. How many of you have ever given up on something you loved? Let me know in the comments if you have ever left a dream behind and wondered if life would ever let you back in. On the other side was Mile. Born into luxury, yes, but comfort does not guarantee meaning. He could have chosen an easy path, and yet he chose art. His rise was not swift, his fame was not great. He walked patiently, almost deliberately, as if he were saving himself for something greater. While others rushed for fame, Mile learned. He waited. He carried within him the quiet strength of a man who knew his time had not yet come. And that patience, that steady walk in the shadows, would become his greatest weapon. Two men, two paths. One steps out of the spotlight, the other cautiously steps in. Neither knows that fate is quietly intertwining their destinies. One day, their names will no longer be separate. One day, the world will call MileApo as if it were a single name, a single heartbeat. Fate is strange, isn't it? It hides until the perfect moment arrives. Apo's departure seems like an end, but it's actually a pause. A gathering of strength before returning. Mile's patience looks like hesitation, but it's actually preparation, waiting for a role worthy of his presence. And when these two journeys finally intersect, the result is more than a play. It's a cultural moment. But wait, before the roar of the crowd, before the hashtags lit up, before their faces were splashed across international headlines, there was only silence. Apo, lurking in the shadows of the dream he had once abandoned. Mile, patiently laying brick by brick a foundation invisible to the world. And in that silence, fate began to write the first chapter of their story. Do you believe in fate? Do you believe that the universe has a way of putting people exactly where they should be, even when it feels like everything is falling apart? If you do, write yes in the comments. If you don't, tell me why, because this is one of those stories that will make you think. Think about it. If Apo had never left, would his return have sparked such a burning passion? If Mile had chased every opportunity so quickly, would he have had the depth, the quiet strength that fans would one day appreciate? Timing is everything. Destiny is never in a hurry. It waits, patiently, carefully, until the right moment comes. That's what makes this start so poignant. Long before the world knew their names, they were simply two men living ordinary lives. Apo, wondering if he still had a place in the industry. Mile, quietly searching for a role that would express his true self. Neither could have foreseen what would happen, but their meeting was inevitable. And when their paths finally crossed, it not only changed them, it reshaped the future of boys' love forever. Can you feel it? The quiet tension before the storm, the buzz in the air before history changes? Because that's exactly where we are in this story. The threshold, the moment right before the spark ignites. And when ignites, it will light up not just a show, not just a couple, but a movement. Follow me, because in the next part, we'll step into the project that brought them together. The role that transformed two separate lives into one unforgettable duo. The show that took boys' love from a small series to a global phenomenon. And trust me, you'll want to see how it all began. Before you continue, ask yourself, what do you feel in this first? Hope, excitement, or nostalgia for a time of change? Share below, because this story is not just about them. It's about fate, timing, and the courage to face the unknown. There are moments in entertainment history when the screen becomes more than just a screen, when it becomes a window into ambition, struggle, and transformation. For Thailand's boys' love industry, that moment came in 2022 with KinnPorsche. And hidden within it are two names the world will forever remember: Mile. But before the fame, before the world recognized them, there was only uncertainty. The casting process for KinnPorsche was notorious, long, unpredictable, sometimes even chaotic. Actors came and went, scripts were rewritten, entire production teams changed. Rumors spread, will this project ever happen? Now imagine walking into that room as an actor. Would you take the risk or walk away? What would you choose if you were in Miles or Apo's shoes? Mile Fakfum and Apo Nadawin never gave up. They persevered, believing in something invisible, the belief that this story could overcome all obstacles. And when they finally stepped into the shoes of Kinn, the heir to power, and Porsche, the bodyguard drawn into his world, it wasn't just a choice. It was destiny unfolding before our eyes. This is what made KinnPorsche. For years, boys' love dramas had been mostly light romances, school romances, sweet encounters, slice-of-life charms. But this, it was different. It was like fire and gasoline. The story combined mafia crime with raw intimacy, betrayal with tenderness, bullets with stolen glances. It wasn't just about two men falling in love. It's about survival, trust, strength, vulnerability, and how love can flourish even in the darkest corners of chaos. Close your eyes and imagine. Neon lights glistening on rain-soaked streets, gunshots echoing through warehouses, silence broken only by the sound of heartbeats. And in that silence, two men looking at each other, knowing they've crossed an irreversible line. Isn't that a moment that makes you forget about the definitions of love, action, romance, and simply experience pure cinema? Isn't that how the KinnPorsche evokes in you? But perhaps the real surprise wasn't the story, but the reaction. The moment KinnPorsche debuted, the world not only watched, it exploded. Overnight, it took the #1 spot on the trending list in 191 regions. Think about it, 191 regions. It was as if the whole world lit up at once. And then Twitter came along. Every night of the broadcast became a global event. Hashtags quickly climbed to the top of global trends in minutes. Fan accounts translated the lines in real time. Memes, photoshopped images, fan cams flooded the internet. Imagine New York at 3 a.m., Paris at midnight, São Paulo in the afternoon, Manila at night, all connected by the same storyline, the same power source, the same Mile and Apo. Let me ask you, where were you watching when it all started? Were you glued to Twitter, refreshing every time there was a new story? Or were you the one flooding your timeline with screenshots? Share that memory, because I guarantee thousands of people watching this video will be just as excited as you are. But beyond the charts and hashtags, something deeper is happening. perceptions are changing. For years, many outside of Thailand considered boys' love a niche genre, small, even frivolous. KinnPorsche shattered that perception completely, leaving no boundaries. Suddenly, international audiences who had never been exposed to the genre were hooked. Critics were no longer calling it boys' love, but a Thai action film with a love story. And for the first time, the conversation wasn't just about labels, it was about art. And maybe you felt it too. A sense that Thailand had just stepped onto the global stage in a whole new way. Has KinnPorsche changed the way you think about Thai storytelling? Has it expanded your conception of what boys love or even television itself can be? Because let's be honest, this isn't just a drama, it's a gateway. A gateway for MileApo to become global icons. A gateway for Thai cinema to demand recognition far beyond its borders. A gateway for boys' love as a genre to be on par with any other form of world-class storytelling. And if that sounds dramatic, remember this. When a series causes the world to rethink an entire industry, it's not an exaggeration, it's history. MileApo have done more than weather a casting storm. They've done more than lead a mafia romance. They've sparked a cultural shift that's captured global attention. And the truth is, this is just the beginning. Stay with me, because next we'll explore how this explosion reshaped not only their careers, but the lives of the fans who saw themselves reflected in MileApo. When it comes to MileApo, the spotlight almost always falls on KinnPorsche the series, the lightning bolt that catapulted them onto the world stage. But the real magic, the reason their names resonate around the world, lies off-screen. It lies in the spontaneous moments that no script can capture. Think of a fan meeting in Bangkok or Manila. Thousands of fans, hearts pounding, phones raised, waiting for just one smile, one look. And then it happens. Mile looks at Apo, not with the fierceness of a mafia heir in a TV series, but with the warmth of a trusted companion. Apo returns the smile, a smile that hits you right in the chest. In that moment, you can almost feel the heartbeat of the crowd. No dialogue, no carefully choreographed dance moves. Just a genuine, raw, natural chemistry that has people whispering, "Is this more than acting?" Tell me, when you watch them together, do you feel the same attraction? Do you believe there is a bond that goes beyond the screen? Western media certainly thinks so. Reputable outlets have dubbed them the power couple of Thai romance. The title is not given lightly. It signals something extraordinary. Two men from a regional industry achieving a recognition previously reserved for Hollywood couples. Isn't it amazing that Thai actors representing Southeast Asia are now shaping global conversations about love, performance, and storytelling? And here's my question to you. Where are you watching? Are you in Asia, surrounded by the heart of this phenomenon, or perhaps in Europe, America, or Africa, witnessing this wave from afar? Isn't it incredible that no matter where we are, their stories still find their way to us? These aren't just headlines. They're people, fans like you, building something bigger than any show. The MileApo fandom isn't a small community. It's a global family. One fan in Brazil live streams their interviews in the middle of the night, while another in South Korea designs artwork inspired by them. Across oceans and languages, strangers connect through the joy they create. Why are their stories so relatable? Maybe it's because love, respect, and honesty are things we all crave, no matter where we are. Their close relationship with their fans is perhaps the real secret to their enduring appeal. In a world where celebrities often feel distant, MileApo choose to be close. They wave heartily, look fans in the eye, listen, laugh, and make even the back row feel included. If you've ever been treated like a friend by a celebrity, you know that feeling. It stays with you. It changes you. Have you felt it? How did it shape the way you viewed them afterward? What makes them special isn't the flashy gestures, but the quiet ones. Apo stopping to thank a fan, Miles stepping closer so no one feels left out. These moments say more than any headline. We don't just want you to watch us, we want you to be with us. That's why fans don't just admire them, they trust them. And in this industry, trust is rare. Perhaps the most fascinating thing is the intersection of fiction and reality. Kinn and Porsche were scripted, but the relationship between Mile and Apo was written with something deeper. That's why fans keep studying their smiles, their glances, their every conversation, not for gossip, but to find the truth in a connection too genuine to ignore. And perhaps that's why their impact remains so enduring. They don't just tell us a story, they leave us with unanswered questions. When you think of Mile and Apo, do you think of them as actors, icons, or companions who light up your world? However you look at them, one thing remains the same. Their sincerity and emotional bond have touched hearts from Bangkok to Berlin, from Manila to Mexico City. This is more than a fan base. It's a wave that's redefining what it means to be a global star. In the next, we'll follow Mile and Apo as they take to the world stage, from Dior to Cannes, proving that their story is about more than just boys' love. It's about crossing borders, shaping cultures, and bringing love to the world. There are moments in history when art and culture cross boundaries, when two individuals emerge and change an entire industry. For Mile and Apo, that turning point came when they moved beyond the Thai entertainment industry and onto the global stage, first with Dior, then at Cannes. It wasn't just recognition, this was transformation. Picture Paris Fashion Week, the lights flashing, the world's most famous designers unveiling their visions. Then, amid the models and celebrities, two Thai actors stepped forward, not just as guests, but as Dior ambassadors. The symbolism was impressive. Dior was not just dressing them, it was declaring that elegance, power, and class could shine from Thailand. Their presence lit up the front row, their confidence was noted by Vogue and GQ, their influence was undeniable. Think about it. When you first saw them in head-to-toe Dior, what went through your mind? Did you feel proud, as if your culture was finally being recognized on a stage usually reserved for Western icons? Or did you feel excited, imagining the boundaries being broken in fashion and entertainment? Tell me, I want to know how you felt in that moment. But Paris was just the beginning. The real turning point came in 2023 with Monswang, an epic of intrigue, opulence, and Siamese political turmoil. It required more than presence, it required depth. And Mile and Apo delivered. Their performances were subtle, powerful, and layered, putting to rest any doubts and showing both critics and audiences that they were not bound to any genre. They weren't just boys' love actors, they were actors in the truest sense of the word. This wasn't a fad, this was art. And then Cannes came. Imagine, at the Palais des Festivals, the world's most glamorous red carpet. Global superstars lined the steps, flashbulbs lighting up the night sky. And suddenly, there they were. Mile and Apo, draped in elegance, walking together with the grace of men who know they're more than just themselves. That night, they weren't just actors attending a premiere. They were cultural ambassadors. For Thailand, it was history. To see two men from boys' love backgrounds, often overlooked or underappreciated, now proudly strut their stuff on the most prestigious stage in cinema, it was more than glamour. It was recognition. Recognition for Thai cinema, for boys' love stories, for fans who believe their stars deserve to be seen. When you saw the images of Mile and Apo at Cannes, how did you react? Did your heart race? Did you screenshot it immediately to share with your friends? Or did you pause, realizing you were witnessing a shift in how the world views Asian talent? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Their journey from Dior to Cannes shows us something at its core. Their rise to fame is no accident. It's deliberate. Every step is a choice to elevate themselves, to prove that they deserve to be in the world's most prestigious arenas. And in doing so, they break the mold that others try to impose on them. They are not defined by a genre. They are defined by talent. Now let me ask you, where are you watching from? Are you in Asia, smiling proudly? In Europe, admiring their fashion dominance? Discovering them for the first time in the US? Leave your country in the comments, because just as MileApo crossed oceans, our community here is global. Their journey reminds us that true influence comes from authenticity. Step onto the stage with pride in yourself, and the world will be mesmerized. With MileApo, Dior opened the gates, Cannes raised the stage, and together they turned these milestones into something greater than individual triumphs. They have become symbols of Thai art, of the presence of boys' love, and of all the fans who believe that love in all its forms deserves to shine. What does representation mean to you? When you see MileApo standing tall on stages once thought unreachable, does it change the way you dream? Does it remind you that talent and authenticity can break down barriers? Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And stay with me, because next we'll see how MileApo are turning success into impact, using their voices to inspire, uplift, and shape a future where Asian stories don't just shine on screens, they change communities. Impact isn't always defined by titles or numbers. It's often revealed through quiet cultural shifts, in the way millions of people start to see love in new ways, in the way fans around the world suddenly feel connected by a single story. That's where MileApo's true impact lies. They're no longer just the main characters in a Thai drama. They've become a global force, taking boys' love from an obscure genre to a global phenomenon. Ask yourself, how many actors in your life have reshaped the way an entire culture understands love, expression, and identity? Previously, boys' love dramas have quietly lurked in the dark corners of the internet, cherished by small communities that found themselves in those stories. But with MileApo, the whispers have turned into cheers. KinnPorsche has become a megaphone, carrying their voices around the world. Their chemistry is more than just charming, it's undeniable. And now, it's not just Thai fans who are celebrating, it's audiences in Latin America, the Middle East, Europe, and the United States. Who could have imagined a Thai drama would dominate global charts, inspiring people across continents to create art and even learn Thai, just to feel closer to MileApo? At the heart of this global movement lies a simple truth. Love is love. Not a slogan, but a lifeline. For LGBTQ+ fans, MileApo are more than actors. They're proof that their stories can be told with power and beauty. Watching KinnPorsche is more than entertainment, it's validation. For many, it's the first time they felt seen and celebrated on the world stage. So let me ask you, do their stories make you more hopeful about love and freedom? Do they remind you that your own truth deserves to shine, unafraid? But their influence goes beyond identity. They have become role models for authenticity. They have shown the younger generation that you can dream boldly, love unapologetically, and still be accepted by the world. In an age where so many young people are struggling with self-doubt, MileApo's rise is a message. Your power is your authenticity. Isn't that a message we all need to hear, no matter who you are? To the young fans watching, do you see MileApo as proof that it's possible to be authentic, to be yourself, and still be globally successful? And then there is their impact on the culture itself. Luxury brands like Dior and Piaget have not only dressed MileApo, but have embraced them as global icons of elegance and authenticity. From the Cannes red carpet to the outfits on international campaigns, they are more than just the embodiment of stardom. They are presenting a new image of Thailand to the world. Think about it. Two men who started out with a script in Bangkok are now taking the spotlight on the world's most prestigious stages. If you could see them there, wouldn't you feel proud, regardless of your nationality? Doesn't that prove that true art, fueled by passion, transcends borders and belongs to all of us? And because pioneers are never alone, their success has paved the way for others. Englot, Becky, Milk Love, and Rising Stars have all benefited from the doors MileApo has opened. Boys love is no longer a small genre, it's become a recognized cultural product. Think of it as a chain reaction. One story gets lit, and suddenly an entire industry lights up. Do you think these newcomers would have found such a big stage if MileApo hadn't broken down those walls first? Or do you believe the world has been waiting for them all along, and they just came along at the perfect time? But perhaps the most profound impact is the community they've built. MileApo's fandom is not limited by geography or language. A fan in Brazil can share a meme that makes someone in Korea laugh. A fan in Turkey can write a poem that makes someone in Canada cry. These aren't just interactions, they're bridges. People who might never have spoken to each other now share stories, friendships, and safe spaces under MileApo's umbrella. And now, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching the video from? And what does being a part of this global fandom mean to you personally? And here we are, reflecting on two men who redefined what it means to be an actor. They were more than just performers. They were cultural icons, trailblazers of authenticity, living proof that art has the power to change lives. From making boys love a global phenomenon to influencing fashion and connecting communities across borders, MileApo has made an indelible mark. But their story isn't over yet. The question now is, what lies ahead? Will their next projects push the envelope, or will they pass the torch to the new they've inspired? Whatever their path, one truth remains: MileApo changed the world. And perhaps that's their greatest gift, not just to make us watch, but to make us believe. As we come to the end of this journey, one truth becomes clear. MileApo are no longer just actors, nor are they just the romantic leads in the hit Thai Boys Love. They have gone beyond the screen and stage. Today, they have become cultural icons, symbols of love, diversity, and Thailand's new soft power, resonating around the world. Think about it. When you see them together, whether in the heat of KinnPorsche, the haunting elegance of Man Swang, or the glossy glamour of Dior, what do you really see? You don't just see fame. You see a language that touches the human heart. You see two people whose connection evokes something deeper in each of us. Isn't it amazing how some stories feel larger than fiction, as if they belong not to a single country, but to the entire world? What MileApo have created is more than just fame, it's resonance. Their story touches on emotions that audiences everywhere can relate to. Connection, identity, belonging, and most of all, it inspires hope. Hope that love in all its forms and in all its hearts has the right to exist openly, proudly, and unapologetically. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a performance that seemed to reflect your own journey, your longing, your search for acceptance? If so, then you know why MileApo are so important. They have become mirrors for millions of people who have never seen their stories portrayed in such a profound, artistic, and beautiful way. But their influence goes far beyond the screen. MileApo represent more than entertainment. They embody the soft power of a nation. Thailand has long fascinated the world with its cuisine, temples, and beaches. But through them, the country has brought something new. A story, a voice, a vision. They have proven to the global stage that Thai film and television can lead, not follow. And isn't it amazing that two actors with just one film have been able to shift the world's cultural compass toward Bangkok? Their influence now extends far beyond television. With Mon Swang, they have entered cinema, bringing Thai history and identity to life on the big screen. At Dior, they are not just guests but ambassadors, feted among the world's elite. Yet beneath the glamour, what shines brightest is their sincerity. Even under the brightest lights, MileApo never feel alienated. They remain genuine, with a genuine sense of the bond they share with their fans. Speaking of fans, look around. The community stretches from Bangkok to Berlin, Manila to Mexico City, Seoul to São Paulo. People gather online, in theaters, at concerts, all bound together by the same admiration. So let me ask you, where are you watching tonight? What are you to this constellation of stories? Share below, because your voice is a testament to how big this phenomenon has become. This is what makes truly extraordinary. MileApo's impact extends far beyond their fan base. They have become catalysts for broader conversations about representation and inclusivity, helping to bring to light love stories that have been hidden or silenced. Through their work, audiences not only witness the characters on screen, but also see the possibility of a more open and empathetic world. And that, ultimately, is what MileApo is all about. Not just entertainment, but transformation. And now, looking back, we see them for what they are. Cultural icons. Icons of a new Thailand, confident enough to stand shoulder to shoulder with Hollywood and K-drama, proclaiming to the world that Thai stories matter. Icons of love, showing that on-screen connections can spark meaningful conversations beyond the stage. Icons of diversity, reminding us that presence can change lives, touch hearts, and open doors. So let me ask you one last time, how does MileApo's journey make you feel? Does it inspire you? Does it surprise you? Does it give you hope for the stories we'll see in the future? Write your thoughts, because every comment contributes to the chorus, ensuring their story will resonate for years to come. And with that, we close not just a video, but a celebration of art as diplomacy, of love as a timeless language, of two men who started out as co-stars but grew into something much greater. A living testament to how culture can move the world. MileApo's journey shows us that a love story on screen can reshape the way the world sees a culture, and perhaps the way we see ourselves. And as they continue to rise, one truth remains. Their light will only shine brighter, touch more hearts, and remind us that love, in all its forms, has the power to change the world. Thanks for watching. If this video inspired or touched your heart, please subscribe and become a part of our community. Your support will help us create more meaningful stories. Share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear from you, and what stories would you like us to explore next? See you in the next video. Stay inspired, and we will see you again in the next one.